Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. And today we're going to be talking about Judge Canon and about her recent tossing out of the case, which I heard about from my good friend Cindy, who always is the one who tells me when shite is going down. So shout out to my friend Cindy, because I wouldn't know anything without her, because I'm just in my own little bubble over here. So we're going to talk about this. Now, if you're new here, again, crash helmets have been moved over there, goggles, scuba gear, there's a parachute. I mean, any one of these things could be needed during this broadcast. Grab what you think you might need. Also, somebody just said a companion dog or cat or panda koala is also available. Please inquire at the desk. So listen, my spirit guides and I are working together, 60% them, 40% me. It's an unholy alliance, is what I just heard them say. It's an unholy alliance. That is so wrong. God, I don't know. Maybe I should straighten myself up, fly right, okay. I don't know which one of us is the unholy part. But anyway, okay. Because really, this is, okay, we're going to get right down to it. Here's the thing. Judge Canon. I have reported from my spirit guides before that Judge Canon was going to be gone around, and they're showing me the same image that they showed me all of those months ago. So the energy is the same. And the picture is a big tree that's been allowed to grow in the middle of a small country road. I literally have seen this in my life, and that's why they are using this picture. It's a one, obviously, kind of a barely 2-lane road, and the road goes around the tree, and the tree was allowed to stay there and grow. Okay, so the energy is suggesting that we're going to go around her. Now, I know I haven't looked at the news. If it wasn't for Cindy, I wouldn't even be on doing this video. But so I don't know. I don't care, and I don't know what the news is. I don't know. All you guys are screaming, going, but she did it with prejudice or something that means that it can never be done again and it's dead in the water. And I'm just here to tell you very quickly, it's not dead in the water. None of these things, none of this is working in their favor. If it was working in their favor, we would be seeing some different things, come to light. And it's not. Biden is actually doing very well, despite the Democrats gunning for him, despite the Republicans also going after him. It's the energy, you guys. The energy is we're all going to be okay. However, as evidenced in the beginning of this video, we are in a roller coaster. We're riding a roller coaster, probably most of us, me definitely, against our will. I've asked to get off several times, but they won't let me off the darn roller coaster. Hence, the support pandas. Grab one. So what I think my role is for you guys is to prepare you, because this is nothing. What happened over the weekend with 45 and the bang bang, this is pretty much par the course for the next several months. Things may get worse. Things may get bleak. But I'm here to tell you guys, it's going to be okay. And let's go back to Judge Canon. We said we were going to go around her. Now we're going to go around her. Yeah, not exactly what we wanted. It's kind of like asking for a pony for Christmas and getting one of those damn dolls. And you're like, this is not what I wanted, right? So we're going to get what we wanted, but we got it the way spirit could solve the problem. The problem is Canon. And the problem is, frankly, sort of this dissolution of our democracy right before our eyes, in the sense that no one is doing the adult thing and saying, this judge is rogue. This ex-president is rogue. This situation is not democratic. These people, nobody, there's no adults in the romper room, and the United States being the romper room. So we are going, and I believe this is by design. See, I keep trying to talk about Canon, and I don't know if you guys are noticing, but they're having me talk about what they want to talk about, which is dealing with the future and dealing with the present and getting out of this with your vibrational health intact. That's what they really want to talk about, apparently. But I am going to make them talk about Judge Canon. So I'm going back to Judge Canon, and I'm going to say that, yes, she did something the guides are saying was dastardly. If you watched me for a long time, I don't know who this guide is. Maybe they were like from a different era where dastardly was the worst possible thing you could say to somebody. So yeah, she's dastardly. She's unfit. This is what they're telling me. She's unfit for office. She's a shill. These are all things they've said before as well. So here's the thing. Spirit could not solve the problem with the current players. So we closed the game down. The game is closed down. Now everybody's free agent. Jack Smith is free to reconstitute a new case, a better case, and put it back on the market and have a possibility, a potential of getting a different judge. He might move this case to a different state, or to DC. He can do anything. Really and truly, he was trapped before. Now he's not trapped. Now he can take various parts of this case and reconstitute it in a new way, even with new witnesses, and move forward. And you guys are saying, but it's not going to be in time for the election. It was never going to be in time for the election. Had the case stayed trapped by Judge Canon, nothing would have ever happened. It would have actually been better for them to just keep it trapped. Because now I see Jack Smith. And if you don't think that he's already thought this was going to happen, and you don't think he's already planned for this to happen, and you don't think he's already got 6 plans, backup plans, you'd be wrong, because he does. So now he's doing 2 things. He's going to put pressure, and I don't understand. This is just what they're telling me. I don't know that he can do this directly, but he's going to put pressure on Judge Canon by going to a higher court and saying, yeah, no, this is fishy. This stinks. This is not legal, whatever. He's going to put pressure on her. Meanwhile, because he can do multiple things at once, he's going to be kind of, I don't know, plugging in his second plan. It's almost like I see him calling in a new team. The new plan could be slightly different. It could have more of a monetary component. A fiduciary is the word I'm hearing. So you would also say to me, but Susan, it's the documents case. Is Trump going to get away with the documents case, right? Like maybe we cannot exactly try him for that same case any longer. I'm going to tell you that that's going to come up. I feel like it's going to come up. Right now I'm seeing January, February. I don't know how it's going to come up, but it's going to come up. And I would, at this point in our program, remind you of a time in your life when something happened that was so unbelievable that you couldn't believe it happened. It's happened to all of us. We've all had something happen that was like, I don't know how that happened. To this day, I don't know how that happened. Okay, apply that same energy to to Jack Smith going around Canon. We're not in charge of people's free will. And I know I'm not in charge of spirit. But I know that the energy suggests that there is a balancing and a releveling of the energy. I talked about it in my last video. Talked about it a lot, right? That we're out of tolerance. We cannot tolerate the imbalance that we have on this planet. Imbalance racially, imbalance ethically, imbalance monetarily, imbalance ecosystem-wise. Period. In the story, we are out of balance. So whatever this is, again, be it spirit, be it God, be it karma, I don't know, whatever it is, be it the law of nature, the force of nature, the law, something about the law of nature, like physics again, like nature abhors a vacuum. You cannot have certain things in nature. It's impossible. in our planetary vibrational existence. Okay. We are dangerously close to being completely out of commission, and that's not allowed. So forces, what they're telling me right now, forces are coming to bear on the situation. And that's how you get a solution that you could never think of yourself. So you can use this in your own life, by the way. You have a solution to a problem that came out of the blue. Even think about the statement. It came out of the blue. What does that even mean? What is blue? Where is blue? You know, for all you, pragmatic, practical, skeptical people out there, please put in the comments your description of blue. It came out of the blue. And also describe how that's never happened to you, because it has happened to you. But our brain says that didn't happen because I can't make sense of it, so I'm going to forget about it. Okay, now we're going to go around her, but she's going to get her due comeuppance. She's going to get her due comeuppance. Okay, she's going to be held accountable, and she's going to be held liable. That's what they just told me. Timing, don't know. Do not know. I would say this is not the end of the world. I would say that these are more symptoms that the patient, democracy, is sick, because we know that Justice Thomas put a little addendum in his what do they call that? In his written opinion, he put a little addendum that said, by the way, I don't think blah, blah, blah. And that kind of was a heads up to Justice Canon that, hey, if this thing comes to the Supreme Court, I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to throw it out. That's one justice. It doesn't mean Jack Smith cannot go around her. I still see him going around her. Whether it's with the same case, which I think is his first choice, he's going to take, I see the briefcase with the case in it, with the legal case in the briefcase, just metaphorically. He picks it up. He bids her a good day. Again, who these guys are, I don't know. But interestingly enough, he doesn't pick it up by the handle. He picks it up like this, and he puts it to his chest, and he says, good day, and then walks out. Like, he doesn't take this stuff emotionally. It's a job. He's lost before. He's won before. You know, the spirit guides talked in the last video about how the scales of justice, and this was a big deal for me, because whenever we see a picture of the scales of justice, they're freaking equal. If you have a statue, most often they're equal. Honey, they're never equal. They're scales. They're always going to be somebody winning, somebody losing. Once we get that in our head, I think we can endure losing. We can endure picking ourselves up and going, well, that was terrible. We lost. Let's do better next time. You know, if every sports team, when they lost, and some of them lost, for years, if they just said, that's it, I'm not playing this game, this is stupid, I just lose all the time, well, then we wouldn't have a quadri-billion-dollar sports entertainment industry, would we? Those teams that are always losing have hope that they're going to win sometime, and eventually they do. So, we can, but I wouldn't suggest throwing in the towel over a couple of losses. It's just a matter of doing business. Jack Smith is like that. You lose some, you win some. But what happens, and this is something we can learn from him, is that when he loses, okay, my phone is blowing up and I don't know what is happening. Okay. When he loses, and this is just the way this man is made, when he loses, it galvanizes him to win. Losing actually has the opposite effect on him. It actually empowers him and galvanizes him to win. So he doesn't feel at all diminished by losing. He feels empowered and regenerized. So I think we can learn something from him, right? We're going to be having some losses. I am a straight shooter. We're going to be having some losses. Period. End of story. But we're going to win in the end. And you know, as we say, the scales are never, you know, balanced. You know, what I want to say is, you know, your prize for winning democracy and saving democracy, you guys, us, our prize is that we have to put the country back together. It's like, oh, you won this house. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's great. I worked really hard to win this house. And now I'm going to save the house. Now I'm going to repair the house and I'm going to make it better and I'm going to love it. And I'm never going to take it for granted again. And then you open the front door and you're like, Holy Mother of God, what happened inside this house? And you're like, I won? I mean, this is winning. Are you sure this is winning? Because it didn't look that bad on the outside. But now that I'm inside, this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy. And I'm tired already from trying to win the house. So yeah, we're going to win, but it begets more work because then we get to decide, well, democracy is an experiment and it's ever changing. And we are the writers, you know, the amendments. It's a living document. We write those amendments. We shape the place we want to live in. So we get to be involved in that. But it also means that we have to look at some ugly truths that we didn't want to believe that can sometimes make us feel like our whole world is not what we thought it was. So in that case, so if you're looking at this thing with Canon and you're saying this is it, I finally believe that this person, this court is bought and paid for. And I'm starting to really worry about our democracy and I'm really starting to lose hope. Okay. Those are all valid feelings. They're all valid. They're valid, period. I mean, this is true. I believe these things are all true, except for the hope part. Be like Jack Smith. He didn't lose hope. He's not going to lose hope. He's not a quitter. We're not quitters. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a vacation. And I hope Jack Smith does take a vacation. I saw that picture of him going through that shimmering wall and popping up on a field way far away that looked like what I would imagine Ireland to look like. It was just green and these gentle hills. I hope he does take a break. You have to pace yourself when you're doing this kind of work. And, you know, right now they're showing me Jack Smith is like, what is he, an Ironman or a marathoner? He's what is that thing? A triathlete. He's a triathlete. So he rides a bike. He has a passion. A real passion outside of his job. This is the man we've tasked with saving democracy in many ways. And yet he still takes time out for his passion. Be like Jack. Balance your life. Take time away from politics. Take time away from the doom scrolling. Take time away from the hopelessness and the hopeless people and the hopeless energy and the rotten media. Save yourself. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Okay. So I think I might end this video here, wherever this is. Oh, yeah. I might end this video here because we're going to go around her. We already said it. That's what's happening. Justice is coming. Karma is coming. Whatever thing happens that upsets you, I need you to understand that if you do some things, you might feel better. Again, like maybe pick up those postcards and write 5 postcards and mail them to elected officials. Go to your tablet, your phone, and Google the White House and email Joe Biden, email VP Harris and say, I just want you to know that I support you. That's it. That's all you need to say. I support you. If you really, say positive things. I love what you said the other day. Connect with them on a personal level, but be positive. Because when you're thinking positive and you're sharing positive, your whole space, your aura, your yard is positive. It's going to make you feel better, and it's going to give you hope. Write Jack Smith. I don't know if you can, but if you can, email him. I love what you're doing. Thank you for standing up for justice. Go out and volunteer for a group somewhere in your hometown that needs help. When we're in a positive state of mind and energy, it's going to make us feel better about everything. And Judge Canon is not going to ruin this country. They're not going to let her ruin this country. Again, we're out of tolerance. We're going to get back in tolerance. Getting back in tolerance could be, hard or harsh, because things have to be seen. We have to understand what's really going on. The patient has to get the diagnosis. The doctor has to be willing to be truthful with the patient. The patient has to be willing to really understand the severity of the problem. And then instead of giving up hope, the patient has to be willing to believe in a tomorrow, in a better tomorrow. That's us. We have to be willing to believe in a better tomorrow. This is not the end of the world. It might be the end of Judge Canon's career, but not the end of the world. Okay? Take really good care. I've got another video coming out with one of our favorite astrologers talking about the convention, which is tonight. That'll be posted tomorrow. Take really good care of yourselves. I see you really soon. For entertainment purposes only.